the fabulous FF face their greatest challenge ever in the Baxter Building Besieged. After facing a host of carbon copies of their deadliest foes, the Fantastic Four return home to a riotous reception that would make a rollicking rock star green with envy.
Reed, someone must have alerted the press to our arrival.
You could say that again. It's a whole swinging soiree. Out of the way, crumbums, before I bounce you clean back to Yancey Street.
Smile for the cameras, Crystal. I want everyone to get a good look at the Human Torch's best girl.
Go on, back off, Charlie, before I clobber the lot of you.
What's the matter, Benji? The pressures of fame too much for our ever-loving blue-eyed idol of millions? A shot! Someone's firing at us. Flame on!
All right, who's the wise guy?
Spread out. The shooter must have blended in with the crowd.
Yeah? Well, he'll blend in with the pavement once I get my mitts on him.
I'll create an invisible force field.
It's no use, Reed. I can't make out anything in all the commotion.
But even as they continue their search, a hidden device observes our heroes' every action. For, according to plan, another miniature mechanical menace buzzes through the darkening sky toward the FF's home in the Baxter Building. Within instants, it darts through an air vent and into the headquarters of the world's greatest super team. Tiny circuits whir and click as every inch of the Fantastic Four's home is researched and recorded by this strange device, and then automatically transmitted to its secret point of origin. But suddenly, computerized anti-espionage mechanisms built into the Baxter Building isolate the small-scale spy and eliminate it. Only time will tell, however, if they have acted in time. A short time later, Reed Richards turns his attention to weeks of neglected research and analysis. I dare not upset the others, but I fear all the time we've spent away from the Baxter Building recently may have made us more vulnerable to attack. These next few tests will either confirm my suspicions or...
Reed, you've been working non-stop. Take a break and eat something, darling.
Oh, I'm sorry, Susan, but I can't slow down now. This shouldn't take long, but I have to finish my work here before I even consider anything. Else? It's gone, but that's impossible.
Is it really, Reed, darling? Or are you simply too involved with your gadgets to remember your loving wife is the invisible girl?
Of course not, dear. I always do routine checks on our instruments and weapons. I guess I got carried away. Watch it, sis! One irascible orange-skinned orangutan coming through!
Johnny, what on earth?
Come here, you loudmouth little creep. You want to act like an overgrown spoiled brat? Then I'll put you over my knee and... Hey!
Johnny Storm, Benjamin J. Grimm. I thought the two of you had grown out of this kind of behavior. Can't you see Reed's in the middle of something important?
Aw, geez, Susie. It's not like he didn't ask for it. That flame-brained brother of yours was blaming me for letting that sniper get away at the airport.
Calm down, Ben. I understand the two of you need to blow off steam once in a while, but Susan's right. I can't work with these continued distractions.
Why? You afraid we'll foul up the new baby-changing contraption you're cooking up for little Franklin?
Okay, that's enough. Both of you, get out.
Thank you, dear. Now I can get back to wondering, who sent this?
Even as the man known as Mr. Fantastic ponders this latest perilous puzzle, we turn our attention to a secluded location in upstate New York, where a team of technicians work feverishly to prepare for a fearful new mission.
Hurry, hurry! All must be as the master instructed. There is not a moment to spare.
Now take your places on board. The time has come to report to the master.
All is in readiness, Excellency.
Of course it is. For such is the will of your mighty sovereign. Such is the will of Dr. Doom. Now, after months of careful preparation, it is time to claim the victory denied me so often in the past. The triumph I should have tasted when last I held the Fantastic Four within my grasp. And, lesser powers though they may be, only a fool would fail to heed the lessons wrought from even the narrowest of defeats. Only the most misguided of miscreants would deny the potential for shaping future glories from past mistakes. You have your orders. See to it they are met. Leave me to further ponder what lies ahead. It has been a long time since I have made my home on foreign soil, but this base has served me well in past endeavors. And after that last unholy conflagration, I refuse to see my beloved Latveria scarred anew by those I hate most. Only out of my regard for the welfare of my loyal subjects did I spare the Fantastic Four when last we met. This time, I shall harbor no such concerns. For plundering a plenitude of my incomparable scientific creations. The time has come for the Fantastic Four to pay.
Meanwhile,
Shake a leg, Stretcho. Sheesh. What kind of guy tells his partners to hustle down to the garage and then waltzes in late himself?
Sorry for the delay, old friend. I had something to attend to. But now we're going upstate to visit Franklin.
Reed, that's wonderful. But why didn't you say anything? I could have called ahead to let Agatha Harkness know we're coming.
I thought it would be more of a surprise this way, dear. Buckle up, everybody. Next up, Whisper Hill. But once the Fantastic Car is safely in the air, it immediately attracts attention of a most unwanted kind.
Even after having traveling in inhuman-made crafts, I can't get over how amazing your Fantastic Car is. It only took a few seconds to put the city behind us.
Aw, come on, Chris. As our 5th team member, you should know that everything from amazing to unusual is our specialty. Speaking of which, wait till you get a load of Whisper Hill. I think Bashful Benji, to name just one, would attest unusual doesn't even begin to describe the place. Look out! The Fantastic Car is being ripped apart by some type of energy blast.
Sheesh. Did you think we'd miss that if you didn't broadcast it for us?
but even as our confounded heroes plummet toward the ground below, another fateful incident is transpiring. A strangely shaped ship descends upon the Baxter building. And then, from within the mysterious craft, legions of savage servo guards emerge. In a matter of moments, the home of the Fantastic Four is thrown into chaos. As though possessed by a single mind, the unfeeling servo guards lunge forth into the FF's home, leaving brutal destruction in their wake. At that moment, a second ship descends upon the celebrated skyscraper, carrying with it a quartet of Doom's most loyal emissaries.
You have your orders. Carry them out. All of Richardson's hardware must be accounted for.
Meanwhile, in the air above a wooded glen several miles outside the city,
Susan, I can guide us safely to the ground, but Ben is plummeting like a rock.
Don't worry, Reed. I can do something about that.
hang on, Chris, I've got you.
What a revolting development this is. Another couple of seconds, and my whole blamed hide is gonna be covering the countryside. What the? Some kind of invisible cushion is keeping me from becoming an orange omelet.
You're right, Ben. Susan created a flexible blanket of force beneath you to break your fall. Johnny, scout ahead and see if you can find out what we're up against.
Hey, why come old Flamehead always gets to fly out of earshot while the rest of us get stuck listening to you?
How can you talk like that, Benjamin? There's something terrible behind this, and Reed's just trying to get to the bottom of it.
Big deal. So we're in danger again? Just point out the Joker trying to whoop us, and I'll blast him back where he came from.
It's not that easy, though, Ben. Whoever's behind this is actively toying with us from afar. What's more, we probably haven't heard the last of him. I have to confess, I'm not at all surprised by this. I was analyzing some debris caught in our security systems earlier, and noted that a highly advanced spy device was among the refuse.
What are you saying, Stretch? Someone's been watching us? What gives? You usually ain't the type to hold out on us when someone's looking to clobber us.
Once again, old friend, it's not quite that simple. I wasn't certain we were under the threat of attack until now.
Oh yeah? And what gave that away?
This is serious, Ben. If I'm correct in assuming who's behind this, we need to return to the Baxter building immediately.
And, speaking of the Fantastic Four's HQ,
The Master should be pleased. We've retrieved all of his stolen inventions, even his time machine. If the Fantastic Four survived our earlier attack, they'll return to their fabled headquarters to find instead a smoldering disaster area. We must leave at once, but first, have you carried out the last of the Master's instructions?
Of course. The FF will find more than a charred wreck when they return. I've arranged a special surprise for them, one that will demand their immediate attention.
Excellent. Then let us depart.
at that very instant, many miles away,
Johnny, my darling, is this the way it will always be? Separated one moment, and then plunged into one danger after another the next. Crystal's right, Reed. When will it stop? Will we ever be able to simply relax and spend time with our son?
Listen to them. They long for a normal life. But how normal can things ever be for someone who looks like me?
Everything will be all right, Sue. We just need to get through this together.
Bah! Just hurry up and show me who to clobber. After all, I'm not much good for anything else.
Oh! Gosh, what's gotten into the thing, Reed? I'm not sure, Johnny, but his mood is deteriorating fairly rapidly. We've been so busy averting one crisis after the next, I've been too distracted to look for a cure to Ben's condition. Once we've dealt with this new danger, I must once again dedicate myself to fulfilling my promise to Ben, to finding a way to change him back to normal.
Holy cats! Look at the Baxter building!
It's as I feared. Our home has fallen prey to an attack in our absence.
You're not just whistling Dixie either, brother-in-law. The place is practically demolished.
This is worse than I could have ever imagined. I'm speechless.
Well, there's a first.
Oh, Reed, darling, who could have done this?
It's hard to say, Susan. We have so many foes. Maybe old Willie Lumpkin got tired of hauling all my fan mail around and decided to finally get even.
I don't think so, Ben. Look at that!
I was programmed to await your arrival. Now that you are here, the time has come to do what I was created for. The time has come to destroy the Fantastic Four.
Ah, cripes. Ain't that one of the Mad Thinker's nutty Tinker toys?
You're right, Ben. It's that super android you encountered on your own a while back. I brought his lifeless form back here for analysis.
Ha! Well, whoever wrecked our pad must have knocked a screw loose in that nutty robot. I whooped Twinkletoes here all by my lonesome before. What makes him think he stands a chance against 5 of us?
Watch out, Ben. He's preparing to strike.
Fall, you insignificant gnat. None can stop me from achieving my goal.
Oh, no? Then you perhaps weren't prepared for an encounter with one of the incomparable Inhumans. Or for the force of an elemental countershock.
Good work, Crystal. But you'd better let me take over from here.
Fool! Your pliable form is a pathetic defense against the Thinker's greatest creation.
You're a challenge, that's for sure. But you're no deadlier than dozens of foes we've faced in the past. Johnny, heads up!
Way ahead of you, Reed. That crummy android will be burnt to a crisp when I'm through with them. His android skin is fireproof, but my attack's weakening him.
You did good, son. We've got him on the ropes. Now it's up to you, Susan. Try and contain him with a force field.
I can do better than that, darling. I can create a force field inside of him, and then I'll gradually expand it until it explodes from the pressure.
Nice work, Susan. Your control over your abilities gets more impressive all the time.
Whoa, my aching head. What happened to the baddie I was tangling with? Did Stretcho yak him to death or something?
Don't worry about him, Benji. But what if the Thinker has even more androids waiting in the wings?
Don't even think such a thing, Johnny.
Actually, Crystal, it would be logical to assume that the Thinker is the one responsible for all this. In fact, had someone been watching us for a protracted length of time, that's exactly what they would have wanted us to think.
Sure, but why go through all the trouble?
To keep us off guard, Ben, so we don't suspect what's really going on. Until it's too late.
Oh, Reed, don't say it. If what you fear is true, we'll never see Franklin.
You're wrong, dear. We will see our son again. But visiting Whisper Hill is too great a risk right now. Every move we make is clearly being observed with the utmost scrutiny.
What do you mean, Big Brain? That you don't think the Mad Thinker was behind this at all?
It's just a guess, old friend. But if I'm right, we could be up against the greatest threat we've ever faced. Tune in next week for the Prince of Atlantis himself, the Submariner.